Oh, it's very smooth. Let's do a flip here. It really has like a lot of power for what it is. Like a lot. It's pretty dang fast. Like if we could put some FPV stuff on this, it could be pretty sweet. This thing is pretty dang solid. Like, it doesn't have, you know, position hold or anything, or altitude hold, but really, it has a pretty wide range for holding it steady. I think I need to add a little bit of trim because when we initialized it, it was not on really like a level surface.
Hey everybody, welcome back to RC with Adam. My name is Adam, and today in this video, I just want to take a quick look at the HolyStone Predator model HS170. And you're probably like, Adam, why are you reviewing this quadcopter? This thing has been out like forever. Tons of people have done videos on it. Well, that is true, but I haven't done one yet. And specifically, I'm making this video to kind of compare it to the Hubsan X4 quadcopter, which, fun fact, this is actually the very first quadcopter that I ever got. Not this exact one. The exact one that I had flew away, or I flew it away, or something happened to it. In any case, this one right here, because these are basically the same quadcopter. I'll just bottom line up front there. These are basically the same quadcopter, just minor differences. And again, bottom line up front, I really, really like the Predator, and this is I'm gonna say it, this is like the best trainer quadcopter that you can get for the money. I think this thing is like around $30, $40, except here's the thing, they discontinued it from Amazon like as soon as I ordered it, like the day after I bought it, because I bought this just to show you guys, just to say like, it just so I could test it out and confirm that this is a good training quadcopter. And then Amazon's like, yeah, we're actually going to take that off of there. Actually, not Amazon. What probably happened is HolyStone came out, they did come out with a newer version of this, the, I think it's the HS170G or something like that. And the G model has altitude hold, because I guess that's just all the rage these days, because nobody wants to hold their own altitude. So it has automatic altitude hold. This one does not. This is the original one. And so I'm guessing that, I don't know, maybe they're phasing this one out. If it's available from anywhere else, I will put a link in the description down there. Also, I'll have a link to the Hubsan X4, because this is the next best thing. That's the next thing I was going to say about this, is the Hubsan X4 is still actually a really good training quadcopter and the next best thing. And I will also have a link to the new Predator, the G model, just in case you're interested in that as well. But specifically, the reason why I like these two quadcopters as training quadcopters is because they do not have auto altitude hold. And so if you don't know what I mean, let's see. So here's the X4 transmitter. I'm using this one because it's black, so it shows up better. So you see, this is the throttle right here. So this is going to be your basically your total power, your up and down. It's going to raise the quad and lower the quad, make the motor spin faster. And this thing will stay wherever you set it. So you have to constantly be making tiny little adjustments to get your quad to stay at whatever whatever height that you want it to stay at. And so that's like how most quads are. Now, these do both have auto level. They both have auto level capability, so you don't, they don't have what's called acro mode, so you don't have to basically do everything. So the altitude is totally up to you, but it will stay in an upright position. In comparing these two quadcopters, because that's kind of the point of this video a little bit, mainly just to say that they are more alike than they are unalike. Disalike? They're not alike. They are very similar. I mean, the basic body shape is almost exactly the same. Very minor changes. Now keep in mind this particular model, like this exact quadcopter here, the Hubsan X4. This one is like 5 years old or something. So that's the reason why I'm not going to like fly these and compare them like head to head, because the motors are kind of worn out on this one. And so the Hubsan X4s that you could buy right now might be different from this one. I'm not totally sure, but I'm pretty sure the basic design has stayed the same. So in any case, the actual physical features basically the same. I think they take the same battery. This is just like a very basic quadcopter battery. This one's a little hard to get out in this one because of this tape right here. This is a 350 milliamp hour 1-cell battery. So, pretty standard. I'm going to leave that out for now. Pretty standard stuff for this one. I do actually really like one of the reasons why I actually like the Predator more, the HolyStone Predator more, is because it does have this super sweet landing gear. So it's actually very robust and just sort of bounces around, takes a crash really well. And I like how it has these prop guards, very minimal prop guards, minimalistic prop guards built in, whereas the Hubsan X4, at least with this one, you have to you can put like a prop guard ring, but it weighs like a lot, and so it's really better to just fly without the prop guard, or at least after the very first time you get the hang of this thing, probably better to just not have the prop guard. So I really, basically overall, I like the HolyStone more. As far as the other features, the main thing is that the Predator has one key, return to home, and headless mode, and I would say neither of those really work very well. I really have not had good experiences with headless mode with just about any quadcopter, any little quadcopter like this, because it's weird. It doesn't always work very well, and then also the return to home, it just doesn't seem to work super great, because you really have to specifically, like when you start up the quadcopter, you have to orient it correctly so that it's going to know which way to return home. And it just doesn't really work that well. That's really just more of another feature that they can say that it has, than as far as one that you'll actually use. Now, as far as actually using these, speaking of which, the transmitters themselves are very, very different. But in terms of actually the flight feeling, this thing flies really well. The Predator, this thing flies really well. Like it kind of makes like a really high pitched kind of loud noise compared to the Hubsan X4. But the controls just feel so much better on the HolyStone here, and it's just a much better flight experience. The different levels of I was about to say levels of intensity. The levels of sensitivity for the flight controls are better. Like they're more refined with the HolyStone. With the X4, again, this is like an old version of the X4, so they may be different. But the X4s are like horrible. Now that I have been flying for a little while, and I realize this, because this has basically like it says beginner mode and then sport mode, and sport mode is like really touchy and stuff, and it's not great. Yeah, so there's not really much reason in talking about those more. Let's talk about the transmitters. The transmitters are very different. They're both gigantic. I mean, they're both way larger than the actual quadcopters, which is funny because some quadcopters come with like these dinky, tiny little transmitters, and these ones are like, let's see how large we can make this thing. Like, what is this even supposed to be shaped like? well, I guess a transmitter, but it's just so funny. And then it has this like fake antenna that like I'm pretty sure is fake. I haven't taken it apart, but like that's hilarious. Yeah, so definitely you're not going to get any style points on the HolyStone transmitter here. I know it's getting kind of blown out with the lights right here, but you can kind of see the buttons there. Yeah, it makes this really loud beeping sound. It doesn't have batteries in here right now. But the reason why it doesn't have batteries is because it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AA batteries. I mean, like, holy smokes. Like, whew, if you were out flying this thing and you got attacked by a mountain lion, you could just club it to death with the transmitter. So, I mean, that's a bonus. The X4 is a much sleeker transmitter. Very large. Fits well in the hand, I would say. I have rather large hands. But, you know, it's nothing super special. It's not amazing. Like I said, the actual flight performance and the flight feeling is much better on the HolyStone. But it's, you know, it's still, I mean, again, these are like, it's a toy quality, but definitely still something you can train on and practice with and refine your hand-eye coordination. This one, just for reference, takes 4 AAA batteries, so that's a lot better. I mean, good grief, I don't know, this thing is just a monstrosity. In any case, yeah, so these are very different. That's all. Well, that's all I have for you, folks. This is just a quick video to basically let you know, in case you were wondering, the Hubsan X4 and the HolyStone Predator HS170 are basically the same quadcopter, but a little bit different. And they're definitely the same in terms of size, because that's what I was specifically trying to find out on the internet, and I couldn't find any real information about it. The size, I mean, it really is, it's the same. It looks a little bit bigger, but it's the same. It's totally the same. And to sum it up, this is a great quadcopter. The Predator is a great quadcopter. But if you can't find it, the next best thing, I think, is going to be the Hubsan X4. And, I mean, I haven't tried all the quadcopters out there, but if you can think of a better one than the X4, let me know. Hey, if you have either of these quadcopters, I would love to hear what your experience has been. So let me know in the comments. And also, hey, what was your first quadcopter? Because this was my first quadcopter. What was yours? That would be an interesting question. I'd love to hear it. Let me know in the comments. And thanks so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate you. Consider subscribing if you like what you see and you want to see more. And I'll see you again very soon.